tourist. In general, I think it's kind of hard to be a tourist. You got to plan your trip, you got to be aware of what's going on, be respectful, and have fun at the same time. A lot of pressure. So that's the problem we attack with the Maya tourist guide. So as a tourist, one of the big problems we have at the lake is lack of information. I can go online, there's limited information there, but what's worse is when I actually show up at the place, there's no wireless, there's very little internet access, I have communications barriers, culturally, language-wise, and it's difficult for me to understand what places are important to visit. Furthermore, I have a very limited understanding of what is local, right? I have these preconceived notions of what is Guatemala, and I tend to eat at places or buy souvenirs which fit that perception. We want to change that. Finally, as a tourist, I really have an understanding of what my impact is on the ecosystem and the community. And at this lake, these two are very intertwined, so it's very important that the tourist understands this. So I'm going to run through a scenario on how this could work. So before I actually go to the lake, what's the first thing I do? I Google, right? I say, all right, Lake Atitlan, and today I'm actually feeling lucky. I'm going to try the I'm feeling lucky button. That's going to send me straight to the website, which we just talked about. Atitlan certification website. So I want to find more about travel, because that's what I want to do. I want to travel there. And I'm introduced to this interactive character. They're called the Maya twins. And there are two of them, Hun and Ha. And I'm not pronouncing this right, but Hun represents water in Mayan, and Ha means family. So they represent the social and ecological aspect of visiting the lake. So these characters guide me through the learning process of what to do there. And what's more important, I can take them with me. I can download this onto my smartphone. So the trip, goes forward as planned. I arrive in Guatemala City at the airport, and I take the bus to the lake. It's a long trip, very tiring. There we arrive. And at the lake, I find these outlets, retail outlets, which are certified. I'm not Azul certified, as you can see on that logo there. But these are places where I can actually rent smartphones, right? Which has this software preloaded. So there, the characters come again, the Mayan twins. And so in essence, it's like a GPS, interactive GPS smartphone guide. So you're going to ask yourself, how does that work? They don't really have cell phone or internet or wireless internet there. This doesn't run off that. All information is actually stored in that application on the smartphone. What works very well is GPS. They have very clear skies, very low buildings. That's something that we can do. So here you can see our location. For example, things that we might need, find a restroom, right? So here's a restroom close by. Note that there's an icon on top which tells you that it's Azul certified, meaning that the water is processed before it goes to the lake. Well, we just got off the bus. We're kind of hungry. So what we do is look for some food. So here on our device, we found a place for food. And there's a restaurant right close by. It's not certified, but you know what? It's close by. We'll try that. Hannah Rock Cafe. It sounds very local. It must be great. Let's try it out. Guatemalan pizza, right?
Guatemalan water.
Unfortunately, the Mayan twins aren't as happy as Steve. They're upset. And they let us know by vibrating. So we get this notification from the smartphone. And it tells us, your footprint's not that great right now. So what does that mean? We get to look at our ecological footprint. And here we see what kind of impacts we have. Wastewater that goes to the lake, cubic feet of non-recyclable trash that ends up on the grounds, and land erosion. That's a big problem because of deforestation, lots of building. A lot of the fertilizer or the earth actually flows into the lake, causing pollution. We also have a social impact, which we are made aware of now. Our spending is directed towards those people at the lake who earn the most. So people making under $1 a day actually receive the least from our spending at this restaurant. So that night we go back and we realize, as a tourist, we have an impact. We have an important role to play. So we make a decision. The next day we say, we're going to follow the tours of the Maya twins. Let's see where they take us. As you can see, there's a path that follows around the lake, from village to village. arrive at that village, all we really have to do is follow these waypoints. And they lead us from different sightseeing points, but also to workshops. Okay, so here's a weaving workshop that we arrive at, and we get information on it beforehand. As you can see here, there's information on how we do on wastewater if we attend that workshop, what kind of trash we produce, where our money goes, how long it takes, how much it costs, and of course, rate the experience later on. So we arrive there and we start weaving. We learn the simple techniques. They're not simple, but for us, they're going to be simplified. Their presentations. And often the language may be a problem, but I think just simple interaction is probably the best way to bridge cultural gaps. Just sitting down and making things together. Communication in one way or the other definitely is very important. And so our next stop, we visit an NGO. As a regular tourist, you would never really think to do that, but at the lake it's very special because there are a lot of NGOs active around the lake. And I think that's definitely a resource we want to take advantage of. So we go to this NGO Atitla, and we get to listen to a presentation by an American volunteer. She's been there for a while. And she explains to us how the food web works at the lake and how that has been disturbed by the recent influx of pollution and the emergence of cyanobacteria. We'll continue throughout the trip. And along the trip, we often get notices from the Maya twins. Here, for example, they tell us about bottled walls. This is very interesting. A lot of villages around the lake use this technique to build buildings. And so what that means is they take a lot of recycled bottles, or just bottles, which are used, and they toss cement. They toss wet cement onto these bottles to create a structure. It's much simpler than producing a mold and then pouring cement in. And sure enough, we see these interesting construction techniques around the villages, which are also packed full of trash. Here's another thing. The way they sort the trash is also very straightforward. They sort it into organic waste and inorganic waste. So as a tourist, I have to be aware of that. When I throw my things away into the trash can, there are two containers for these two. The inorganic waste is disposed of. The organic waste is transformed into compost or fertilizer. So after a really nice day, we go back to our hotel across the lake. We're happy. My friends are happy too. We'd actually reduced our average wastewater a day. We reduced our trash production per day, and we've also reduced the land erosion caused by our activities. And also very important, our spending has been directed to the right places. The people who earn the least receive most of the money that we spend. And we are aware of that need to control that because we have the information on the smartphone with us at all times. So we're tired but happy. So what this program is about is to create tourists which are culturally aware, logically aware, and who spend wisely.